each one of us, see, I worked for the bishop, so my salary was being paid through the diocese and the bishop's office, and my being involved with civil rights things was sort of part of the ministry. The ministry was to try to help the church relate to the urban scene, and so a big part of that was the black scene, which I've already talked about. And then the next natural step for us was the gays and lesbians scene. Cecil Williams had a similar kind of job with the Glide Foundation, and Ted McElvain also, and Louis Durham. They all worked for the Glide Foundation. They didn't work for a parish church. So Clay Caldwell had a similar position for the United Church of Christ, as I remember. So he wasn't being paid by the local church. And that and all of us had a job description that said, how do you relate these mainline denominations to the city? See, the church in the city was a big theme of all of the main churches in those days. So that was one of the things that we all had in common. We all had that similar job. And Chuck Lewis, I believe, had the same kind of a job in the Lutheran church. And so we kind of came together as executive officers, or not executive, but officers that represented the, not the parish churches, but the judicatories, the dioceses. And so we met together from time to time and galvanized around certain issues. For instance, I remember when we went to Selma, Alabama, Louis Durham and Cecil Williams and I flew on the same plane along with 15 or 20 other clergy and with similar kinds of, and lay people in similar kinds of ways. And Glide Foundation, I remember, ponied up the money to pay for it, then we paid Glide back. And see, so I think it was the fact that the churches all had these officers of the church whose specific responsibility was to get involved in the larger community.